Hi there, this is Sarah Burnham, and my project is about Likert scales. I'm sure many of you thought it was pronounced Likert scales, and sometimes I slip up and say Likert, but it is pronounced Likert. Here's a little history about Rensis Likert. The Likert scale for which he is famous was his dissertation project from Columbia University in 1932. Likert scales are used commonly to gather information about attitudes and a range of attitudes. And they're easy to use, and they're very popular in marketing research and social sciences. There is a difference between a Likert response item and a scale. The response item is the individual question, and the scale is when the items are combined at the end. And then response item is a positively worded statement, and the respondents are going to select an option that reflects what they agree with best. So this first one, try to find a little humor. I enjoy making PowerPoints. You want to find a positively worded statement. Typically, Likert used 5 anchors on his scale. This one has 7. And I would say personally that I would mostly agree with the statement that I enjoy making PowerPoints. Included in Likert scales often are reversed statements, and these are put in there to make sure the respondents are paying attention and they're not just going down a column and putting mostly agree, mostly agree, mostly agree. So here you see the reverse statement of the previous one. I dislike making PowerPoints. So I mostly disagree with that statement. And so you would want to build something in your analytical software that would reverse that score and make it a corresponding 6 to make that equate, because it is a negative statement and it's oppositely worded. In constructing Likert response items, you want to make sure that you're measuring one thing and one thing only. So in this statement, I like big boats and I cannot lie. While that might be true, it is actually 2 statements. And so a respondent could be referring to the part about liking big boats or the fact that they cannot lie. And so that you really need to break these into separate responses. You have a choice when creating these Likert response items of how many anchors you want to use. 5 is common, 7 is common. But sometimes survey creators want to force people to choose one side or the other, in which case they can use an even number of anchors, 4 or 6 or 8 or whatever. So in this case, a respondent wouldn't have the option to bail out and not respond and just say neutral. They'd have to choose a side. And that can be good and that can be bad. Sometimes you really want to gather that opinion, but other times in doing so, you might not get accurate responses. Conversely, when you have that neutral or middle response, sometimes people choose that because it's easy, or they just don't want to reveal what they truly believe. So you have to take that into consideration in constructing your response, whether or not you want that option to have that middle neutral number on an odd number scale. And at the end, when you take your item responses, the Likert items, you gather your data to form it into the Likert scale. And you can run your statistics on that and see, which items show, the most information based on that. And if you want to learn some more about Likert scales and Likert items, these are the resources or references that I used. And I hope you enjoyed the presentation.